famous rabbis of yesteryear. And now today, here on Yud Bet Tammuz, 12th of Tammuz, marks the Hilula of famous Turkish rabbi. His name was Rabbi Yosef Palacci Z'tl. He was born around the English year 1815. He passed away in 1896, a great rabbi of his time. And remember, we've already covered a video on the famous rabbinic family of the Pelagian family, where we explored over various different great rabbis. I believe he was the third son to Rabbi Chaim Palacci, if I'm not mistaken. Rabbi Chaim Palacci arguably was one of the most famous Turkish rabbis, without doubt, in Turkish Jewry history. And his name is, I think, mentioned various places. He is actually mentioned in his father's books as someone who helped with their printing and proofreading, so he had an integral part within regards to that. His family consisted of two other great rabbis. His brothers were Rabbi Avram Palacci, a rabbi we've spoken about before, going to become the chief, let's say, a head rabbi in Izmir, and obviously he was the eldest son of Rabbi Chaim. And Rabbi Rachamim Nisim Yitzchak Palacci was another one great. He was a head of Jewish court, one of the great poskim, and the author of the Sefer Yafet Lev, if I'm not mistaken. He was actually the second son of Rabbi Chaim Palacci, really, really great rabbis. Now, he lived about 81 years. He was also an author in Ladino and in Hebrew, and very much was an integral part of, let's just say, the Pelagian family in of itself. And we've spoken about it. We talked about, in fact, just to go into the history of the family itself, it's a prominent Ladino-speaking Sephardic Jewish family, I think from the Iberian Peninsula originally. They spread mostly through the Mediterranean after the Al-Hamara decree of March the 31st in the year 1492, obviously the time of the Spanish Inquisition. The Pelagis would eventually establish themselves not just in Turkey, which we're speaking about today, also in Morocco, in the Netherlands, Egypt, and other countries, especially throughout the 1500s. Obviously, later on, we see that many of them will become chief rabbis, founders of synagogues and batei midrashas, scientists, entrepreneurs, writers, so on and so forth. And really, he actually does take up a huge part within regards to the family structure. Okay, so he was born in Izmir and was the youngest son. And he would be succeeded. I think he was, because of ages, because he was under 75 or something like that, he wasn't able to maybe take on the prominent position to have been, he was too young, so he couldn't take on, I think, on a full role. I think one of Rabbi Avram's Palacci sons would, after, I think his father, Rabbi Chaim Palacci, Rabbi Solomon Palacci, would become a chief rabbi. That would make him, his nephew would become. But he was also nominated to succeed, and very interesting. And Solomon will have various other positions, also his nephew in the rabbinate. And Rabbi Joseph Eli would, I think, be between the years 1899 to 1900, a modest 2-year period or something, slightly under possibly, would have been at that point in time. And I think it was actually Rabbi Joseph ben Shmuel ben Tznior would actually succeed as Grand Rabbi in the year December 1900, respectively, shortly afterwards. But he had prominent positions over there. It's actually interesting. Rabbi Chaim Palacci, as we said before, mentions how he helped print his grandfather's books and also wrote books as a general thing. Now, he passed away in the year 1896. He would have great Torah works also he would be part of. Among the books, I think he would be part of the famous Yosef Abraham. This was, I think, printed in Izmir in the Haytaf Reish Mem Aleph. Then there was, I think maybe it was done together with Rabbi Avram Palacci, the oldest brother, but that I'll have to double check on. Yosef et Achiv, this was another book, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was arranged in Aleph Bet order. This was, I think, once again printed in Izmir in the year Taf Reish Nun Vav. Asedet Adafim Achronim HaMa'ari. This was connected to Menachem ben Shlomo in the 1884. This was very interesting. And the Chamesha Hadafim Achronim Misefer Yad HaNahar. This, I think, was actually possibly lost. It was a book on Hespedim, but I'm not too sure. So that's very, very interesting. So remember, Turkey under that stage rule was under the Ottoman Empire rule during especially his time periods where he lived between 1815 to 1896. There's more that can be said in regards to him. You can look at a few of the highlights from his book inside a minute also. His father, as we said before, was Rabbi Chaim Palacci, and I think his mother's name was Rabbanit Esther, if I'm not mistaken. He would actually learn at a young age under the auspices of his father, Rabbi Chaim Palacci, who was a chief rabbi at the time. He was the head of Jewish court in Izmir, and also Rabbi Avram Palacci would really help very much with his studies, and will really take on various different importances in itself. Now, I believe his father passed away, if I'm not mistaken, in the year 1869. That's when really Rabbi Yosef Palacci and Rabbi Avram Palacci would author the various books with regards to Yosef Avram. I think which was published in the year 1881, and other books, especially a book on the Talmud. Another book was published in the 1896. Very, very interesting. I think his son, Rabbi Benjamin Palacci, would help with in regards to printing the rest of the various different books, including She'eret Yosef. Now, Rabbi Yosef Palacci, as I said, passed away in the year 1896, about nearly 130 years ago, close to it, 129, on the 12th of Tammuz. He was buried in Izmir. Let's explore a few of the highlights from the great book in of itself. Melamed Avshe Navi'ah Hi Shetelech L'Tzadok B'lo Yelech Achrei Isha. This is one of his teachings in, I believe, the book of Yosef et Achiv, featured in Siman Chet, page number 6, Amud Bet. Another book teaching, just taking this from the Hayomi website. Melamed Shemevarchim Al Halulav B'lo Al Etrog Shehu Zaken Yoter. This is once again in the Yosef et Achiv book, I think Siman Tet on Daf Zayin, the 7th page of the book. Melamed L'Dayan L'Rib Rib L'Halmana Batzmo Ki'ilu Hu Ba'al Hadin. This is teaching now coming from page number 10 inside the Yosef et Achiv book. Once again, I think the person that printed the book was Rabbi Mordechai Barki, if I'm not mistaken. Another teaching, Melamed Isha Shenhavcha Le'ish Tvarech Birkot HaShacha Shavchani Le'ish. This is another one of his teachings. I think that comes from Siman number 8, page number 29, and a couple more teachings just to finish off the day. Melamed Mi She'im B'divrei Torah Chen Be'enei Shom'em. How important is to have like graciousness when one is learning Torah? That's what he's teaching there. This is actually taken from Siman Dalet, page number 35 there. And the last teaching, Melamed Lishnot Minhag V'Legog Minhag Goyim Lamod V'Kat HaMelech. This is a teaching actually very much featured in Siman Gimel, page number 15, Amud Bet, which I recommend everyone to actually look into. Yes, he passed away about nearly 129 years ago. Don't forget to light candles in his memory. Friends, we're a community here. We're learning about great rabbis of yesteryear. If you descend from any of the great chachamim we are speaking about, please send me an email. I'd love to hear more information. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. We're coming close to 7,000 subscribers. If anyone is interested in watching these videos, please share these videos to other people also. So wishing you well. And actually recording this from the city of Bet Shemesh in Israel. Remember, we've already on this series covered more than a staggering 1,000 rabbis of yesteryear, great rabbi biography videos we've done over the last few years, so you can explore, check out which rabbis you might resonate with, you might be related to, or you might have heard of. It'll be very, very interesting, and please send me a comment, and please subscribe to the channel. So wishing you all a great day. Take care. Thanks for watching.